All right, man. I saw this video by Read My Soul. I'm not an MF Doom fan. And as an MF Doom fan, I want to react to it and see what he's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's nothing crazy, you know what I mean? I don't feel like he's about to be trashing this guy because Read My Soul makes good videos, you know what I mean? That I'm sure there's a deeper layer behind this that he will unpack. Um, I appreciate this guy's videos. Great channel. Subscribe if first time finding out about Reed is on my channel. I'm sorry, but and it shouldn't be. Check him out. Read My Soul, SOLE. Let's go ahead and give this a like and let's see what the dude's talking about.
So I was watching this amazing snippet, this amazing clip from a Tyler the Creator interview with B. Dot and Elliot Wilson.
I don't care about people's objective top nothing. Tell me what is your favorite. Who gives a who the top 3 is? You don't got Tupac in your top 5? No.
And I realized that I'm not an MF Doom fan.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I don't like MF Doom. I recently saw...
Yeah, I wonder how many people saw the title of this video. How many fucking nerds saw the title of this video and automatically disliked the video? You know,
Jalopy, which is another content creator. Shout out to Jalopy. He was explaining.
I would love to hear these two guys together, bro, because Jalopy has the craziest takes that make the most sense, bro. His channel is great. Jalopy Bungus, check him out. Awesome. Like he doesn't really do reactions, right? He does like theories, right? Some shit will happen and then he'll cook up some crazy ass theory, and it's like by the end of it you're like, oh fuck yeah, he's 1,000% right. You know what I mean? Like he's great.
Explaining to people how, record sales don't matter. And I wholeheartedly agree with what he's saying. And he used MF Doom as the comparison and as a talking point, how MF Doom is super duper big, right? He's one of these amazing hip hop beloved characters and figures and icons and legends, but he doesn't have any #1 albums. He doesn't have any #1 records. And it just made me really think of like, dang, like I do like Doom, but I don't like Doom's music. I like what Doom stands for and I like what Doom is about, but I'm not a Doom fan.
Tell me your personal top 5.
This snippet really aged well for me personally because that's why I make my content. I make my content, and the reason why I say I'm not here to be right, I'm just here to be me. I like living in my own reality. I'm a Pisces, and I'm a dreamer by nature. I grew up in harsh environments where oftentimes I would listen to music to escape my reality.
I have memories attached to it. My brother did this when I was young, this and that. In track 7, he talks about this. Found out I was going through it. Like, I want to hear that.
When I listen to music, I don't care what you tell me is this amazing technical performance of Eminem I don't care about all of the technicalities and how many times I don't care about.
Yeah, that shit's fucking gay, dude. Like if your whole thing is like, oh, he raps fast, he's the best, like you're fucking stupid, dude. You're missing the whole point.
That I care about how it makes me feel. Oftentimes when
like, dude, Mos Def is a way better rapper than Eminem, dude. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Y'all can flame me in the fucking... Mos Def is leagues ahead of Eminem, bro.
I do my top 5s, and when I talk about music, it's about how I feel, very much in the raw, very much in the now. I don't go back to MF Doom's music. One of my favorite MF Doom lines is some say the...
Yeah, like MF Doom, bro, like he's fun to listen to, you know what I mean? But well, I don't know, man. Like there is one album, Danger Doom, where I may not have like emotional attachment to it, and it may not speak to me on any deep level or anything like that, but I do like that album, you know what I mean? It's one of my favorites for sure. And yeah, like I feel like in general, like my top 5 isn't like a cool top 5, you know what I mean? I don't think people are gonna hear it and be like, oh yeah, that's right, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but certain people will probably be like, oh well, I have to have Jay-Z in my top 5. I have to have Nas in there, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't be that way, because like if I don't know how could you... I can understand having emotional attachment to older music before your time and stuff like that, but there should be no shame in you know, maybe really loving Country Grammar by Nelly, you know what I mean? Like maybe that shit really you know, takes you back to a place, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
cost of holding heat is often too high. You either be in the coffin or you ought to be the new guy. Right? Talking about how as a black man, you either judge by 12, carry by 6. That's kind of like the juxt of that line. You either gonna be dead or you're gonna be in jail. How do you manage being a black man and having to protect yourself in a system that is basically designed to trap you? So I love that line right there. I can deep dive into that forever, but overall, I'm not the hugest Doom fan. Sometimes we get caught up in having that my top 5 and the top 5, and I think that whole the top 5 thing, it just is a circle, and you just arguing for the sake of arguing, and you never really come to an agreement.
You know what annoys me when people are like, "This is my top 5," and people argue it. Like, you got 17-year-olds like, "Yeah, like fucking Ready to Die and Enter the Wu-Tang is my top 10 album ever." I'm like, bro, you just got hair on your.
And this is the reason why I've often said that debating within hip hop is sometimes it's too much agendas and it's too performative, because how can we have a debate about a top 5 if you're trying to make the top 5 that everybody feels? If I'm included, your top 5 or your favorite or your greatest of all time, we would never match up.
It's performative. That's you got young boys.
see, this is the average Eminem and MF Doom nerd right here.
And babies out here, and that's your favorite.
I often like to say my opinion, regardless of how people may look at me for it. We oftentimes get caught up in being like Biggie and Pac. It's like, bro, you're 20. You were not around for Biggie and Pac. I barely was around for Biggie and Pac, and I was born in 93. It's the same thing with Jordan argument. It's like, I was born in 1993. Jordan was already a basketball player for 8 years up until the point I was born. I had eyes, I had mouth, I had, a brain, but do I remember watching vividly seeing Jordan between 93 and 97? 4 years? Oh,
Yeah, I think I've only seen like one Michael Jordan basketball game, like in real life. You know what I mean? In real time.
wow, great. Did I see all of that? Could I break down analytically when I was 4 years old? More than likely not. So I
can kind of go for that, but also like there are like old albums that like I really like. Like Muddy Waters by Redman. I may not have been there when it came out, but like I remember discovering it and like playing it for my brother, and some of that shit was fucking hilarious. Like to this day, we'll quote the album to each other in text and shit. You know what I mean? The album Disposable Arts by Master Ace. You know what I mean? I may not have been super into hip hop to where, at the time of that coming out, that I got to see the impact of the album, but it was also like a super underground album, so I don't know how much actual impact came from that, but that album is like really dope to me because in a lot of ways it and I'll explain really briefly why that album is. God, I'm fucking autistic, dude. It's called Disposable Arts, right? And it's sort of like in the skits and the overall theme of it kind of paints a picture of where things got to today. You know what I mean? The way that music isn't even bought anymore. You know what I mean? It's just streamed, and back then I didn't get it. It was just dope. It was cool beats. Master Ace was, really good rapper. You know what I mean? But now, you know what I mean? 10 years removed from my first listening of the album, I go back and I'm like, damn, this dude, like, he saw the future, you know what I mean? Like, and y'all just got to listen to the album, man. It's really good, Disposable Arts by Master Ace. However, dude, if all your, like, favorite albums are, like, the correct answer, you know what I mean? And it's all artists that, like, you didn't see as a kid and stuff like that, I don't know, man. That is kind of weird. That's not, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But there's also nothing wrong with liking, weird shit that you weren't around for.
Gravitate more towards Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, D Wade. I gravitate towards that Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, Shaq, Kobe era because that's what I grew up seeing. It would be false of me to go back and be like, nah, man, Jordan the GOAT. No, I would only be going based upon what people tell me in the research that I did.
I want to know.
Yeah, bro, like I love that the G Unit Beg for Mercy album. I fucking love that album. You know, because I was first really getting into hip hop around, you know, a little bit after that album came out. It was one of the first albums I bought. And to a lot of people that might not even be a good album. I don't know. I love it though, you know? Ecstatic by Mos Def. That album isn't even on streaming services, and to me it's like a top 5 album. You know what I mean? One of the best crafted albums of all time. Which, hey, there's Neptune's beats on there, which is pretty surprising. When I saw that, it was crazy. There's Madlib beats on there. It's an insane album, and it's the best album not on streaming services. You know what I mean? And the reason, you know, not the reason, but I bought that album when it came out. You know what I mean, on a CD. And I rode around listening to that shit like crazy. You know what I mean? Like the UGK album, the double disc UGK album. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I listen to every UGK album, but that one, I was there when it came out, and I've listened to it ever since it came out. And you know what I mean? Like I don't know, and I just love the music, bro. And I was there, and I saw how people reacted to it, and I saw how much other people loved it. You know, and I saw, I was just there for it. It's a good album that came out when I was really into hip hop. Same thing with like Hell Hath No Fury. That's why, because Hell Hath No Fury is like one of the first albums that when I cared about reviews and ratings of albums, it got a perfect score almost like across the board. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like albums that you have experiences with, like it's okay to like that shit or not like it, you know what I mean? But it's okay to like shit when you know, even though it may not be like the popular answer.
Why you think
When someone asks,
Pookie Dookie's second album is your favorite?
So for me,
Exactly.
it's all about experience and how I'm feeling and the lived experience. I'm a lived experience type person. How can Jordan or how can you understand the magnitude of Tupac if you wasn't born in the 90s? If you were born after the 99, you don't know nothing about Tupac. So it's hard for me to listen to people or to debate with people when we have a conversation with these people when we're not being honest for what we feel. And I think this aged beautifully.
You're asking people their thoughts on what you hold to your heart. What kind of stupid is that? That's why I hate rap Twitter.
Love MF Doom. I like character art. Like I like art style. I like comic books, not because they're fun to read, but because I like art. I love the costume setup that they wear. Same thing with Star Wars. I really like the Stormtrooper's helmet. I really like Darth Vader's aesthetic in his costume. I like the 80s and 90s from hip hop because, you know, Dookie gold rope chains, the 4-finger rings, the Kango hat, the Adidas tracksuit. I like that costume. Same thing with, you know, Eric B and Rakim, Dapper Dan suits, LL. Like I like that costume. So I love the costume that is MF Doom. Idea and the concept of this figure that's masking his face. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I even like him doing the doppelgangers. I like him putting the fakes out there. I think that's pretty
yeah, that shit's hilarious, dude.
dope as well, just for that whole character build up. I like the character that is Doom, but his music is just not for me personally. So it would be disingenuous and it would be unfair for me to be like, yeah, he top. But really, at the end of the day, I don't think he is.
So nasty that it's probably someone that will try.
He's one of those Absol type figures where it's like, man, Doom underrated. He underground, but everybody know him.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
yeah, he's never been on the radio maybe, but everybody knows MF Doom. The whitest of white kids that I've met in South Carolina have been like, yo, MF Doom, Matt Villainy. But yeah, Doom is this beloved figure. But for me, I can't put him in any of my tops because I just don't like his music. That style of music is not for me. Same thing with like Larry June and that whole mic and that whole slower flow that people have been
Hey man, hey, I like Mike. That's no, I like Mike. Mike's dope, man.
gravitating towards. Airborne Aquarium by Currency's one of my favorite.
But it is like an acquired thing, you know what I mean? Like he kind of has a similar style to Earl Sweatshirt on certain songs, I guess. And I don't like when Earl Sweatshirt does that shit. But Mike's dope, you know what I mean? But yeah, like that's That's one thing about hip hop that's really dope, is that it's like so broad that you know, there can be two artists that couldn't be more different, but it's still hip hop. You know what I mean? Like it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Whereas like with, you know, some other genres, I don't know, just rock. You know what I mean? Like rock is gonna sound like rock all the time. You know what I mean? And rap sounds pretty different. You know what I mean? Like Big X the Plug, Waka Flocka, Joey Badass, and I don't Ab Soul, right? All these different types of artists and rappers, but it's still hip hop. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that like rock is one dimensional or whatever, but it kind of is.
But I don't like Currency's flow. I don't like the way he swag. Out of that whole slow flow, I think Wiz Khalifa mastered it the best to me personally. As far as like a lot of these guys that people tell me I should like, I don't, because they're not, I don't feel it. It's not for me, right? There's always this, man, you should listen to this. Man, this is dope. Da 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 da. You crazy? It's like, no, bro, I'm a feeling person. It has to vibe with me in my gym. I have to have a memory of me taking, you know, when me and my wife got married, or when my kid was born. There's certain things that happen throughout life in reality that supersedes some list that I should have, because if not, I'm crazy. I'm not a hip hop journalist. I don't know what I'm talking about. My credibility is shot. It's my personal opinion, and I feel that is how we best move forward in hip hop. It's not always about this, oh, what is this objective? What is this subjective top five? This is the top five, and then this is my top five. No, this is my top five. I don't think there is a top five. There is no measurement. We can't go based on #1 albums. We can't go based on sales. It's hard to kind of pinpoint down what works. So for me, it's all about you and what you feeling. And that's why I don't like Doom. I just don't feel what Doom got going on. It's just not for me personally. I love the aesthetic. I love the costume, right? Like I love the food, and I love his album artworks, right? Real hip hop, real anime-ish, arty, cartoonish. I love that. But I'm not putting on MF Doom music. No Victor Vaughn, none of that. And I like Doom, and I could listen to it. I've listened to his music, and it's like, okay, but it's not something that I'm gonna continue to listen to. I don't hold MF Doom, RIP to the man, in this amazing high regard like everybody else. Do I disrespect? Nah. Do I understand? Yes. But for me personally, I don't like MF Doom. You know, Tyler Creator, I'm a big fan. He has very good interviews. He has very good moments where I'm like, that's that 90s shit. And that's how I feel. It's like, I don't care about the top five. I don't care about who's the GOAT. So when you come on my videos, understand that that's how I'm moving. That's how I'm operating. I'm not here trying to say the right things. I'm trying to say how I feel. That's what Read My Soul is about. That's what the brand is. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. What say you?
Yeah, dude, I got artists in my top five that are like, you know, probably not in a whole lot of other people's top fives. My favorite albums aren't like the right albums to be your favorite rap albums. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, I think a lot of people, yeah, like he said, just like to have the right answer. You know what I mean? And the cool thing about hip hop is there isn't a right answer. There's always been many greats. There's always been good music and amazing albums, and a little bit for, you know, everybody. You know what I mean? I don't think one artist can do that. You know what I mean? Please everybody, but there's enough different types of artists to like please everybody's palate or whatever. But yeah, good video, man. Good channel. Check them out if you haven't.